Hey guys, it's Core Ross, and welcome to this video about the Storm Chaser Prestige Cosmetics for Rainbow Six. And I am a sucker for these cosmetics because I used to, in Forza and in Need for Speed, all those racing games, I used to paint my cars black or grey or matte grey or a carbon fiber texture. I was always going for the very kind of simple greys, and as such, these totally play into my absolute love for those color combinations of literally no color. So yeah, I am a sucker for these ones and I just love how they look. And they also have a bit of a retro feel to it as well with the glowing eyes. I'm just so impressed with them. And yeah, you can get these cosmetics in Rainbow Six for leveling up your character into the prestige and maxing out their level. So I think that's really cool. Of course, it's not Siege, it's Rainbow Six Extraction, which, as we know, has now stopped development. So I wanted to go back and talk about these cosmetics, because we've just had something added in this season, Rainbow Six Siege, which was challenges. And these challenges are actually pretty decent and relatively well implemented, but for the moment they are newcomer and beginner challenges, so they're super simple for a seasoned player and doesn't really give any kind of challenge. There's also no implementation of being able to see these challenges when you're in the game, so like I'd love to be able to bring up a menu and actually see a list of challenges that I can do, and there's nothing like that. But I'm hoping this is the first step towards a deeper kind of challenge system for all the operators, where you could work through them and, of course, get rewards, where I want to see these cosmetics from Extraction make it into Siege. And like I say, Extraction's development has stopped. So I'm hoping what they can do here is they can go, let's grab these cosmetics, let's bring them into Siege, lock them in with a challenge system. It's probably going to take more than a year until I think we'll see this kind of thing develop to something of that level. But they're right there. They're available. I think we can probably make the rest of the cosmetics, because Extraction only has a small amount of operators. Siege has way more, but I think we can take this style and implement it wider. And like I say, I love these cosmetics. These are out of all the Extraction stuff, and there's some really good stuff in Extraction. These are the ones I want to see the most in Rainbow Six Siege. And like I say, tying it into a prestige system would be wonderful. So we'll see if they're able to, at some point in the future, bring in some sort of prestige. And if they do manage to do it, fingers crossed these cosmetics make it over, because it seems like such a waste, because obviously artists took a lot of time to create this really nice stuff, and it's now stuck in a game that is no longer being developed. So I'm hoping, because it's a Ubisoft game, they're even working with most likely some of the same artists. I would love to see these cosmetics brought over to the Siege universe and be prestige rewards. So let's end this video by taking a look at these cosmetics in Extraction. So you can see here, this is my operators, and I managed to actually max out totally prestige Fuse and Gridlock here. And I was well on my way to prestige and Echo as well, but seeing as development had stopped for the game, I have also stopped playing it. You can also see some of the crazy stuff I have on some of my characters, which is great. So let's have a look. And we will go to headgears. We'll not look at the uniforms because they are just all quite simple. And it's the headgears that I absolutely love. So this is the one for Doc, and I do very much like that. Not a big fan of the green, but with the uniforms being green, it does actually work overall. And you can see it's kind of got a spine around the back of it. Very nice. But that one's actually quite simple. Let's check out Ela now. So we'll go down to our Storm Chaser. And this one is probably one of my favorites. It's also really good because the texture on the goggles is also very cool. And yeah, I think that is sensational. Yeah, really like that. I love that. I would love that in Siege. Take a look at headgears for Pulse here. So this is Pulse. This is probably one of my least favorites. It's got a lot of elements from the other ones, but I like the fact the other ones look like they've been transformed into robots, whereas this one just looks like a mask. So I'm not as interested in it. But still, it's got that same kind of look. Now we've got Alibi. This one's a little bit funky, much more in the green and the fabric side. I probably wouldn't use this in Siege, but it's certainly quite stunning with this very unique 3D model used for the eyes. Loving it. Now on to Finka. This is a really nice Halloween gear that I got for this. Very cool. This one's cool. Now there's quite a few of these ones with the skull elements and they're top quality. Again, I'm not too fussed about this being a face mask, but it is unique and freaking cool. Almost suits Finka too with the overall shape of it, to be honest. So very impressed with that one. And then we've got Hibana. And this one basically transforms her into what I would say is much more of a Nook look. This on Nook would absolutely be perfect. To be honest, this 3D model, and if this was just made into the mesh, this would look really good on Nook with just her chin thrown through. And very simple, doesn't really come across quite as good as the other ones. A lot less of the shiny face, of course. Let's go on to Lion now. And this one's maybe my top pick. Like, that is so nice. Very cool. Loving that. Looks like he jumped right out of a Marvel movie, but it's good. Very, very good. I would use that in Siege, no problem. On to Sledge. We've got ourselves Storm Chaser here, and that is quite a stunning one. If this was a full cover, like all over his head, this one would actually be top quality. Mask elements, very nice. Like, someone put a lot of effort into 3D modeling all of these headgears to make them all really quite unique. And it's not just texture work that's gone into them, which is nice. Let's move on to Vigil. Of course, this guy always has a face mask on. So we'll have a look at the Storm Chaser version, and yeah, that is cool. Full cover, very cool. Very unique too. Of course, Siege, I would say, doesn't have anything like this in it right now, which I think is why it would make a very good prestige cosmetic for Siege. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that the developers will go for it someday. This one for IQ, very good. Very much keeps in her, standard look, but with the elements of the Storm Chaser headgear. Spine up the back again. Very much normal headset and all that, and overall very similar to our normal look, but quite stunning, I would think. Then we've got Jaeger here. So go down to this. Very good. You could tell this is Jaeger right off the bat. Very nice headgear. Simple things. It's not letting me rotate right now for some reason, but you get a good idea of overall shape of it. Very cool. And very Jaeger. Then we've got Rook. I wouldn't mind seeing these animated skins in Siege as well someday. They got them in the weapon skins. Can you do it in the headgear someday? So this one is cool. Really cool. Like, for Rook, this is brilliant. Makes him look super beefy, I think. I like that a lot. And the teeth are obviously weird. There's no actual mouth in the mask or anything like that. It's just teeth, but somehow it works. Then on to Fuse. So as you can see, I'm using this headgear here, which I think is very cool. But we'll take a look at the Storm Chaser. And this is it here. Oh, that is so good. A lot less shiny silver actually on this. And it's very much just black, which, like I've said, I am all into when it comes to painting up cars in racing games. And this looks cool. Nice face on it and everything. Very sweet. Then we got Smoke. This one's kind of in line with the Alibi one. Again, quite unique shapes to it. And 3D models. And a lot of that green, which I'm not too fussed about. But, oh, the shape of this is working. Look how it rotates when he moves his head. That is very nice. Good touches on this one, like really nice. Let's wait for that to rotate again when he moves his head. It's nice. It looks good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice. All right, moving on from that, we'll go to Chanka. If I remember right, I didn't like Chanka's one too much. That's why I didn't bother leveling him up. Yeah, it is cool, but this actual shape and all that is used in some other headgears and extraction, so it's not as unique. It still looks good though. It's not quite getting it for me, but it's not far off. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe if this bit here was, I don't know, less. I don't know what I'd exactly do with it, but interesting. You can kind of see some details under there. I wonder if he's actually got a full face or if it's just not there because it doesn't need to be. But yeah, pretty cool. Needs a bit more silver maybe as well. Then we got Capital here. Of course, he's got one eye, so how is this going to actually affect him? And he's got two eyes. Apparently, looks like two working eyes potentially here. Very simple. Doesn't really look like Capital at all. But I like it. It's quite striking. Nice and bulky on the sides as well. Moving on, we've got Gridlock. And this is one you can see I'm using, a Prestige Turret, and I quite like this headgear a lot. Quite a bit of the green. You can see I've actually gone for the uniform here too, so that gives you an idea of the whole set. But yeah, glowing eyes, metallic skin, looking nice. Then we've got Nomad. So we'll head down to the Storm Chaser. Not sure about this one. Like this pattern here almost looks like hair. It kind of weirdly catches your eye. Face looks brilliant though. Yeah, not as much of a fan of that one. Then we've got Zofia. You can see the headgear I've got here on her. But we'll go down to Storm Chaser. This one's cool. Not sure what it is, but what I get from this, just looking at it, is Zofia. Like, just for some reason, it is shouting Zofia right at me. Yeah, very, very cool. Oh, I'd love it in Siege. Right, on to Echo. Echo is the one I least like. So let's just take a look at this one. This one is horrible. I'm not a fan of the hair. Especially when you being black. Like Ella's one was silver hair, but this is black hair. But it's not like seriously bad, bad. It's weird though. Like it's got, the teeth are actually fabric for the upper teeth, and then the lower teeth are the metallic. So this one is very weird, I think. It's still got really nice elements to it, but overall, I think it's not quite as good. But I could see a lot of people running this in Siege and having quite a lot of fun. One interesting thing would be the glow parts, because in Extraction, a lot of it's very dark and they go very much into the glowing elements. And as such, like if you load up into a game with these eyes, they are properly glowing in game. Whereas Siege, the glow effects aren't nearly as interesting. They're still there, but they don't come across nearly as good. So I do wonder what would happen to this. This might just kind of fade into more of a material pattern rather than a proper glow. But yeah, very cool. Nonetheless, I would love to see these. And of course, they only have these operators done, and Jacko was rumored to be coming next, so they might have completed the cosmetics for him. So that would mean there's still a ton of operators that would need to have these cosmetics made for them for an entire prestige system in Siege. But I do hope that they manage to pull it off and go for it in the future. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time.